Hi all, my name is Natalya Ischenko. I'm Chief Executive Officer of Robocash Group, and I'm glad to welcome you to our another webcast. We started this year with a few updates on the platform and the release of a new audited report. Now we are finally ready to share with you the group's financial results for 2022 and latest platform news. And at the end of the meeting, as usual, I will answer your questions that you left in the Google form. You can also ask any questions during the webcast in our chat window. I'll try to answer them today, but if I miss any of them, we'll be sure to cover them all in a webcast wrap-up email. Before we begin, we kindly ask you to turn off your microphones and cameras during the meeting. Thank you. Here we go. Let's start with the platform numbers for the last 5 years. The year 2022 will be remembered for us by yet another challenge. This also affected the main results of the platform. But at the same time, we see a big increase in the amount of loans purchased, 33% more than in 2021, and also the rapid growth of the platform portfolio. Despite all the difficulties, we fulfilled all our obligations to investors and confidently closed the year. When making plans for the next year at the platform, we focus on the plans of the entire business. As you know, we are currently considering launching new products in current and new markets. According to our standards, the market analysis is always needed, and therefore we have temporarily reduced the amount of funding from the platform. The time for the project's launch depends on many factors, so it is expected that the current level of the loan supply will continue for at least the next 2 months. In the current conditions, we plan to focus on the service we provide at the platform. It is important for us to take into account your suggestions, what difficulties you experience when working with the platform, and what you lack. We analyze these moments and gradually take them to work. Right now, we are working on improving the onboarding process for new investors. There are also plans to add a new income strategy in addition to the 4 that already exist. At the same time, we are also happy to share milestones for the first quarter of this year. The total number of investors reached the mark of 30,000. Robocash exceeded 600 million euros of purchased loans. We have also attracted more than 80 million euros. And of course, we thank you for this. As I said before, we have recently published the audited special purpose consolidated financial statements for 2021 and 2022. This report features a Robocash PT and its subsidiaries located in Central Asia, Europe, and Asia Pacific region. So revenue for fiscal year 2022 grew by 16.2%. The volume of loans issued also increased by 66% compared to 2021. As the group expands, it is opening new businesses, which naturally led to large expenses. We see how this affected the net profit in 2021. Our goal was to achieve stable growth and continue systematically develop in the international arena, which we did. As can be seen from the results of 2022, the group reached a stable profit. Our portfolio is steadily expanding, and we expect further growth this year. I see the comments, by the way, that some of our audience do not hear me. There are problems with the sound. Oh, okay, sound works fine. Okay, so I continue. For the most part, the group's companies are now focused on scaling issuance, improving the quality of portfolios and customer service. Meanwhile, the first quarter was marked by the following achievements. The group received 3 awards: top 100 fastest growing companies in Singapore by Straits Times, top 500 fastest growing companies in Asia Pacific by Financial Times, and best financial services firm in 2023 by Asia Pacific Insider. Zaymer in Kazakhstan leads the industry, exceeding the sales target by 123%. Digido in Philippines sees a 40% increase in loan volume year over year, and Sri Lanka scales loan issuance by 17% quarter on quarter. In 2023, the group is going to implement a pool of projects. These projects are aimed at diversifying our business, improving the technological effectiveness of product scaling, and improving the ecosystem of services. We plan to increase our coverage of 2 main segments, investors and underbanked population, through new products in key markets. There are plans to develop the owner ecosystem through digital banking, brokerage, and wallet. And all this is in our plans for this year. Some products are already in a friends and family version for testing. We see strong demand in banking products in emerging markets, and we try to reply to this demand. We will also continue to expand the product line, explore new directions in the development of B2B products, and diversify the geography of payday loan products. So it's time to move on to your questions. We have some questions from the Google form. Why are there 2 different results for 2021 with the 2 auditors? And actually, we had a number of such questions. So previous reporting, including the reporting for 2021, was conducted under the combined perimeter of the group and included companies that were not subsidiaries of Robocash Pte. The difference in reporting comes from the fact that the financial results are now presented within a consolidated perimeter of Robocash Pte. It comprises headquarter company in Singapore and its subsidiaries located only in Central Asia, in Europe, in Asia Pacific. This change confirms better transparency for the platform investors and for the group's partners, and it goes in line with the group's business strategy. Next question. What is the past and/or current relationship with Zaymer? I think this is meant Zaymer in Russia. What caused the change? Zaymer in Russia is a company which is not part of Robocash Group, even though it used to be included in the combined financial statements before. Last year, the group's management made a decision that Zaymer will remain working in the local market independently from the holding and its subsidiaries. This company is well established and will continue to develop on its own in Russia. Robocash Group will be strengthening its footprint in Asia Pacific and expanding in the other regions of the world like Latin America and Africa. So we are on the way on expanding there. Next question. Were the related loans revoked from the platform? Zaymer actually does not place loans on the platform and never did, so such changes will not affect Robocash investors in any way. Next question, please. SPV, special purpose vehicle, full financial transparency 2021-2022, first quarter 2023, and transparency about bad debts, late loans, etc. Yes, please keep in mind that SPV is one of the companies of the group, but it's not the whole group itself. The SPV is RC Riga. It's one of the companies included in the new financial statements. As it is not a lending company, such things as late loans or default loans are not applicable to it. When you invest in one of the RC Riga loan originators, you essentially invest in the business of Robocash Group in the named regions. For example, RC Riga, Kazakhstan for the group's business in Kazakhstan. We publish updates on the loan originators regularly, and there we disclose some figures and statistics related to each loan originator. Next question. How does the SPV guarantee work? Investors' money of Robo.cash are protected on two levels. The buyback guarantee and the group guarantee. The buyback guarantee ensures that you get your money back even in case the borrower doesn't return it, and is mostly applicable to consumer loans. The group guarantee is a mechanism that allows the holding to cover the expenses in case one of the loan originators can't return money to investors for some reasons. It can also be applied for the loan originators working in partnership with the SPV RC Riga. To ensure that investors get their money back in any situation, the group companies can use its capital to return the debt to investors. Would Zaymer, I think this is again a question about Zaymer in Russia, help if SPV is in trouble? Zaymer in Russia is not part of Robocash Group, so it is not participating in the group's capital and don't cover its obligations. However, the audited financial reports confirm that the group has liquid reserves to cover all investments on the platform. The company manages liquidity on a day-to-day basis and also monitors the distribution of long-term and short-term liabilities. So there is no liquidity gap at any time. We have built an internal control and audit system, and we are constantly working to improve the risk management system, both strategic and operational and financial risk. Our finance and risk team closely monitor the performance of local companies on a daily basis and react quickly if the results do not meet our expectations. And this minimizes the risk of any downfalls for the group and investors. Has Robocash Group considered Indonesia as a potential market? Okay. Actually, thank you for that question. Indonesia is very interesting developing market. We monitor the map all the time through dozens of criteria where we want to open our business. And though Indonesia is a highly populated and interesting market, I think there are some regulatory constraints which we also carefully consider. And on our short list, we have Latin America and we have Africa. So Indonesia can come, but maybe in the next years. What is your estimate regarding the interest rate for 2023 and 2024? Forecasts for the development of both the global and European P2P industry remain positive for this year and in the long term. As competition grows, major market players are likely to strengthen and develop tools to attract investors, including raising interest rates. But the P2P lending market in Europe is emerging and quite volatile. The average rate of investment in such platforms as of March this year was 10.3% and has been declining over the past few years. It is also important to take into account the events that are taking place in the financial sector as a whole, such as the latest crisis in the US banking industry. Such events can cause fluctuations in interest rates in the markets for government and corporate securities, bank deposits, etc. And we, in turn, will strive to adjust the interest rate primarily based on the needs of the entire business and maintain a balance between risk and return. What is your perspective on loan volume? Is it going to improve? The loan supply on the platform depends on the group's total liquidity and its business needs. We expect that the holding will continue to grow at its own expense for at least 2 months ahead. During this time, the supply on the platform will be limited. So we ask you to adjust your portfolios accordingly. What is your vision for the platform in the short, medium, and long term? In the short term, the platform's main focus has switched from bringing investments to the group to improving the service quality. We are taking this time to strengthen the platform and improve the service. The platform remains one of the important sources of funding for the group. So in the long run, we plan to develop it. It might involve adding more loan originators as the holding launches new products, and developing a mobile app to make the service more accessible and convenient to investors. But let me emphasize that this is in the long-term prospect, so some things may come sooner or change along the way. Next question, please. Is a change in rates to be expected this year? The interest rates on Robocash mostly depend on the group's business needs, although it is not the only factor. They are a tool that helps us balance our service. It is very likely that the rates will change during the year, depending on the holding needs, situation on the market, and other things. Where are you in your product roadmap? What are the next features to come and when? The platform is focusing on improving its service both internally and externally. We are working on many processes aimed at strengthening the platform's AML policies, account and fund security on our support service. As for the external features, we are currently developing a new income option, among other things, and we saw the demand coming from our investors, so we will introduce the new features as soon as it is ready. Are you planning a new loan originator soon? As you know, we do not typically integrate a loan originator to the platform before it demonstrates that it is stable. We have two loan originators one of them launched, and the launch on the other will be also announced, I think, during next webcast. But as I said, we need to make them stable. And so at the moment, the new projects of the holding are at the infancy stage. So we do not plan to add any new originators in the next months, but hopefully it will happen by the end of the year. Where is the graphic overhaul of your web interface? We have plans to update the account design, but right now we do not prioritize this task. However, we are still making small improvements to the interface, especially for the personal account. Where is the development of your mobile application? We are not developing a mobile app at the moment, and it is unlikely that we will launch one this year. However, we are working on improving the mobile version of the website at the moment. Will Robocash continue to operate as peer-to-peer investing platform? Yes, the platform is an important funding source for Robocash Group, so there are no plans to change it in any way. All obligations to investors are and will be fulfilled. In the future, we plan to develop the platform to provide a higher level of service to investors and stay competitive player in the market. Could you comment on the situation with delays of Prestamer and Digido? Yes, of course. Some borrowers may delay payments. Also, some originators, including Prestamer and Digido, provide clients with special conditions for prolongations. This measure allows borrowers to extend the term of the loan and not to overdue the payment. This is beneficial for them and allows us to maintain a good portfolio quality. The statistics that you see on the portfolio may include both overdue and extended loans, as there is no prolongation on the platform. We would also like to note that we have not had any cases of non-payment of principal and interest to investors or delays in payments. In the event of a borrower default, a 30-day buyback guarantee comes into effect on the platform. Okay, so I see that there are also some questions in the chat. How can we check that Robocash still have more assets than liabilities? The recently published financial statements show the total assets of $113 million and total liabilities of $103 million. You can find the reports on the website of Robocash Group. These statements have been audited by the Big Ten company Grant Thornton, so they are very credible. Next question. Is it possible to have financial reports for loan originators separately for Robocash platform only as well? When the group transitions into a public company happens, detailed financial reports of all loan originators will be made available to everyone. Until then, we will have to keep the full information private. Okay, my team tells me that there are no more questions. So thank you so much for your time and for your attention. We hope that over the next quarter, the webcast will bring more results and more news about the new projects launched. We do everyone to make our clients happy. This is our priority, and thank you so much for staying with us as our clients and our investors. Wish you all the best. Thank you so much.